So in this video, we're going to be talking about carpet seams, and lots of people will actually delay rolling their carpet into the tape adhesive, which is a very bad mistake. I want to get into depth on that and explain why it's so important to roll your carpet into the thermoplastic tape as fast as possible once you push your iron forward. Where that's going to come into play and be most problematic is on this plastic back carpet that Shaw is putting out now, and also the soft back carpet. And the reason for that is the carpet tape adhesive, thermoplastic adhesive that's on the seam tape, is not going to be able to penetrate this near as easily as it is a traditional action back carpet, because we have a solid surface to work with right here. And if your tape is not dispersed out properly, you're going to have a ridge, you're going to cause seam peaking or tape telegraphing. You're going to see a hump right there where your tape is underneath of the carpet if you do not smash it in the adhesive immediately. Let's do a seam and we're going to show that and talk about it. For this demonstration, we are going to use the Talor 890 lighted iron and also some Orcon K20 seam tape. Just got done making a seam in a traditional action back. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this plastic back carpet by Shaw. Lots of people think that you need to peel this blue plastic off of the back. It is absolutely not the case. You don't have to. You do not have to pull that off. You simply use a lower profile tape, a tape that don't have as much thermoplastic on it, such as this Orcon K20 has less glue on it than, for instance, the K50s and stuff like that. So use a lower profile tape and you'll be fine. Again, as long as you roll your glue as soon as you push your iron forward and don't wait. If you're liking what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up button. Okay, we got these two seams completely put together. Now I want to take and look at this seam right here. It's already had a chance to cool off and stuff. You might notice I'm not using a seamer down now or anything like that. I'm simply rolling it in the glue, and that is because I wanted to show you guys just how important that rolling the carpet down in the thermoplastic adhesive as soon as you get done is extremely important, okay? So you can see as I pull this up, these little squares in the adhesive can you see those little squares of adhesive, little blocks of adhesive, you might say? What that is, it's where they actually sunk into these little squares on the backing and then cooled, stuck down in those little squares. So you see the squares there? Again, that's where it sunk down in the backing of these squares. So on the plastic backing, it's not able to penetrate in the backing like this because there are no pits or anything like that in the plastic backing. It's simply a smooth surface. Let's check out the other piece. All right, we're going to pull this up here now, and I want to point out here, look at this tape. It's completely smooth where it got smashed down just on a flat surface, so naturally it just flattened right out. I want to pull this on up some more. Okay, well, it started ripping the plastic, but this is enough to see to get my point across. So it's just completely smooth here where it got
again, smashed down on a smooth surface. It's not got the squares where it dipped down into the pits. Even if it's on a soft back like this, I don't necessarily feel the need to do a soft back piece, but it's not going to penetrate into this no better than it did this, okay? So that being said, now again, this is all flat. It's super smashed flat, thin, and everything. So I pushed my iron and I rolled it. You guys seen exactly how I done it. I didn't hesitate before I rolled it. So if the rows in the carpet are crooked and you have a gap here and it's overlapped here, and you push your iron forward and you're trying to get this together, pull it in or push it apart or whatever, and trying to get this, that tape is cooling the whole time, okay? When you push your iron down in it, after sitting here working with your seam for, we'll say 1 minute, that's not too dramatic, or 30 or 45 seconds. That's 30 or 45 seconds or 1 minute that tape has to cool before you're actually smashing it down with your roller, applying it into the back of the carpet, or in this plastic back carpet's case, applying it to the back of the carpet, because it definitely don't soak up or wick into the backing. So therefore the glue is already set for a little bit, cooled off. It's not going to smash as flat, it's not going to be as thin, so whenever you smash it down there, it's going to be thicker than if it was if you pushed it down in the glue while the glue is extremely hot. It's just going to flatten out, get a lot thinner, a lot less likely to profile if you roll it as soon as possible. So we can't help it that the manufacturers don't make the carpets perfectly straight. The rows are crooked sometimes. Sometimes you do have to push and pull and all that stuff. That is where the seamer down now and the cool glide comes into play, and these carpet aws. Even if you're working a traditional iron, you can go down through your seam, pulling it apart, push it together wherever it needs to be. If it's overlapped here and you got a gap there, pull it in to where it's overlapped, stick you a carpet awl in the floor to hold that right there, and then pull this out and put you another carpet awl on the floor to hold that right there. Now this carpet is exactly where I'm needing it. As I'm pushing my iron along, I don't have to sit here and fuss with it or anything like that, trying to get it together. It's already right where it needs to be. So as soon as I push my iron, I can then take my carpet roller and roll it down into the adhesive, and it's going to be a lot thinner and a lot less likely to telegraph. That is very important on these kind of carpets, not so much on the traditional action back, even though you definitely still want to do it as soon as possible. Again, even if this you are seaming a regular action back carpet and you hesitate to push it in there, the glue has already started hardening up from the cooling. It's not going to penetrate into the backing as well as it would if it was very hot and very pliable. Notice on that seam that we looked at a while ago, it was sunk into the squares and everything like that in the backing of the action back. If it's already cooling, it's not going to seep down in those squares like it did if it's incredibly hot, okay? So prepare your seam, okay? Get it all ready. Use the carpet awls. Everybody should have some of these. Everybody that installs carpet needs to have some of these, okay? Prepare your seam, get it completely ready. If you need to if you only have a handful of them, just get you about 10 feet or so ready at a time. While it's waiting, tell your other guy or run up here real fast and prepare it ahead of you as you're working this. Preferably, do your whole seam at once. I'm now going to do a carpet seam without pressing it into the adhesive right off the bat. I'm going to act like I have to fuss with it, and we're going to give it about 30 or 45 seconds before we press it into the glue, and we're going to see if there is a difference to back up what I'm just now telling you. As soon as I push this forward, I'm going to hit this stopwatch, and at 45 seconds, I'm going to then work it into the adhesive. And I don't think that's dramatic, because I myself have spent that amount of time trying to get a pattern right and get it together without destroying my seam and such before I switch to using the proper tools for the job. Okay, I'm gonna let it again, just 45 seconds. As soon as 45 seconds hit, then we're going to put it in the adhesive. That feels weird. I don't feel like I should be sitting here letting this wait like that. It's always such a challenge to just try to get this in the glue as fast as possible. I've always done that. Again, sometimes it don't work out, but that's the goal. Okay, so we've been sitting there struggling, trying to get it in the adhesive. Right there's 45 seconds. Let's do it. And then we will roll it, push it on. And this is with an action back, so we'll really get to see if it sets in the backing. That might, honestly, might be a little bit long of letting it sit there too. It's not a good situation at all in either direction. You don't want to get the backing of your carpet too terribly hot. All this stuff is made and put together with heat. It cannot exceed, I want to say 390 degrees, I think, for the plastics that the carpet is made out of. Will start melting and destroying, I think, at 390 degrees. These irons on full blast will get over 400 degrees. That's why it's very crucial that you have a heat shield on top of your iron, such as this Talor iron has here. If I ain't mistaken, CRI even says it's not acceptable if you don't have a heat guard on top of your iron. It has to be on top of your iron to protect the back of the carpet. I want to see just how this does. I've not tested this. If this goes south, oh well, so be it. I've not tested this. It just makes perfect sense that when the tape cools, it's not going to get in the backing as much, and it's going to be a thicker glob of glue under the tape, and it's going to therefore be thicker and it's going to telegraph more. So that's the purpose of trying this out, and we'll see what happens. We're going to do that also with the plastic backing, which is really crucial with that. I kind of don't like setting it there for on the carpet even that long. Again, you're not to get the backing of the carpet too terribly hot. Okay, I'm going to let this cool, and we're going to do this one. Wow, looky there. Oh my goodness. So this didn't get set at all in that. That's after 45 seconds, and look at that. This is where I just done it. That 45 seconds didn't even get set. We're going to do that again. I accidentally, not thinking, just pushed that straight forward. We're going to do that again right here. Let's take a look at this one right here, and let's see what it looks like in comparison with the one I did over here, where I pushed it in the adhesive immediately. Okay, so let's peel up here and see what it looks like. Okay, so I can already see. Oh yeah, so you see that? These ridges, you can still see the ridges on the glue where it did not smash and get all pushed in here as it did right here. This completely got absorbed into the backing, Again, you can see the squares where it got just smashed completely into the picks of the backing. This one here, you can still see the original ridges in the adhesive. You can see a little bit right here where it started to go in there, but it's already dried enough to keep the form of the ridges. I wonder if I can tell a difference in filling that one and that one. Yeah, so even rubbing this one here, cameraman, rub your hand right there, and then rub on that. Tell me which one feels thicker. Definitely, you can feel exactly where the adhesive on the tape is here, where here it pretty much just disappears. It's almost completely flush with the paper, versus here you can feel a distinctly where the tape is on the back of that, where the adhesive is. So definitely a thicker profile from letting it wait than here. I'm going to start on this end. Wow. Wow. So this is where I smashed it all in there immediately. Look at here. Oh yeah. So that's dramatic right there. It didn't even stick on that at all. Again, you can see all the lines on there. On this plastic back carpet, it's a have to. You need to get that, well, I can't do it now. You need to get that into the adhesive. Even where it started to smash flat here, you can still see the ridges from the original form of the tape. And again, you can just feel exactly where the glue on the adhesive is. Big time. Right there. Very easy to feel that ridge. Very easy. To be fair, I want to fill this like I did the other one. Okay, so this is the plastic bag, so you can still feel a little bit, but just like with the other carpet, a dramatic difference in the thickness of the tape here versus here. Just huge. Okay, did two different types of carpet, plastic bag and an action bag. I hope somebody learned something from this, and maybe will take what they learned here, apply it to their day-to-day job, and make their jobs a little better, last a little longer, a little less profiling. Thank you guys for tuning in to the channel. Until next time, FBSB's out.